On Wednesday mornings, we like to give you a new recommendation or maybe an anti-recommendation if the reviews aren't good for Whatcha Watchin Wednesday, a new show for you to binge. What are we looking at today, Allison?
Krystal says for What to Watch Wednesday, y'all should look at the boy band documentary on Netflix. I think she's talking about Dirty Pop, the boy band scam.
So I have seen this on my Netflix. I have not watched it yet. Have you watched any of it?
I watched the first episode, and I will say within the first 30 seconds, I was 100% in just because they were showing all these throwback clips of the Backstreet Boys to kick it off. And that was my first ever concert. So like instantly I'm like in love.
Okay.
So it's not all happy. The synopsis is a chronicle of the rise and fall of music mogul Lou Pearlman, who created and allegedly exploited some of the top boy bands of the 1990s.
So we look at the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Eden gave it 4 stars, although the first episode was a bit slow, which that kind of flies in the face of what you just said about being 100% in the first 30 seconds. I found the story and the way it was presented interesting and intriguing.
I will say, since this is brand new on Netflix, there weren't a ton of reviews from fans. So Michael, another fan, gave it 4.5 stars. He said, if you haven't seen this docuseries yet, check it out sometime. It's a definite must-see because it'll take the viewers to realize who you should trust in life.
And Candace, who happens to be a top-rated critic on Rotten Tomatoes, so the credentials are out, says it takes the easier route and attempts to engage audiences with a one-dimensional, familiar narrative. It serves no one.
The reason I wanted to include a critic review this time is because the tomato meter and the audience score are so different, and that alone should spark your interest, Adam, because the tomato meter is 38%. Yeah. Critics hate this. They do not like it. But the audience score, 82%.
That's interesting. And you know what I always say, whenever the audience score and tomato meter don't agree, it was somebody didn't pay the tomato tax. But what if in this case, Lou Pearlman paid the tomato tax?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, is it the industry trying to cover up for the industry? Because within the first episode, you can tell this is so much more than the boy bands. There was a whole scheme going on with Lou. And it's like, okay, this is going to be so interesting, but why don't the critics like it?
So tell me this. Is it along the same lines of the Nickelodeon documentary that we did look at a few months ago for Whatcha Watchin Wednesday?
It is similar, except I feel like they're actually going to focus on the crimes. What I mean by that is like, so there we were looking into Dan Schneider, but they looked into a lot of other people who had criminal activity while working at Nickelodeon. This is going to really just focus on those criminal activities of Lou Pearlman, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Whatcha Watchin Wednesday. Again, it's Dirty Pop, the boy band scam on Netflix.